Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today. I'm Lee from thecraftyspark.co.uk and today, whoops, it's a bit rubbish already flying around. Today I'm going to show you how to make this really pretty covered notebook, but with a difference this time, because the one I did for you the other day was just a normal notebook. Let me take my pen out of the way. But this one, when you open it up, you've got a nice little message. You've got a pocket to keep your receipts in, or whatever else you want to put in there. And even better still, you can take the notebook out. So when your notebook runs out, you can just pop another one straight back in and you're ready to go again. Pretty nifty, huh? Okay, let's get going then. Now, I still haven't filled my glue up from yesterday, so I hope it's all going to last. But if not, I'll just whip off camera and get some and whip back on again. Right, so to begin with then, here's my bit of paper with my measurements on, there it is. Okay, we are starting with a piece of cardstock today that measures 8 1/4 by 10 1/4, so a bit bigger than the one we did a couple of days ago. And we are going to start by scoring this one, Melon Mambo, we're using today. I've gone a bit bright jazzy coloured today because it's a bit dull and yuck out there, so I thought I'd jazz it up by using some bright colours. So Melon Mambo cardstock, and we're going to score at 10 10 10's up now, 1 3/4 1 3/4, 2, 2 1/2, 6 1/4, 6 1/2, and 9. So have I done that right? Yeah. So we've got, let's just go over these score lines again just to make sure they're scored properly. So we've got 1 3/4, 2, 2 1/2, 6 1/4, 6 1/2, 9. Okay, that's all we're doing for our scoring. Let me get rid of that. Where's my bone folder? There it is. Now we are, whoops, what are we doing? Round that way, that's it. Fold and burnish your score lines. Whoop. Try not to bend your cardstock the wrong way if you can help it, like I just did there. I don't quite know how I managed that. I've got a little dent in it. Oh well, never mind. Let's just smooth that out properly. There we go. Where am I? Hold that one. That's why, it's because I was pulling it rather than folding it. When you're using thicker cardstock, handles a bit differently. And then that one, and the little one, and then the last one, which is the one that we did at 9, fold that one inwards rather than outwards. Okay, so that's going to go in because that's going to make a little inner flap for tucking our receipts in. Okay, let's just flatten those all down right. Now, next thing we need to be doing is we are going to put a back panel on top of this, on top of the Melon Mambo. So we've got something to actually slot the notepad in, because otherwise you're not going to be able to change your notepads over. So I have cut, where am I? Some Calypso Coral this time. I thought that makes quite a nice jazzy combination there. But I've cut some Calypso Coral, and this measures 8 1/4, which is the same as my Melon Mambo, but it's 3 1/2 inches wide. And what I'm going to do is, with some very thin tape, I'm going to use this one, I'm going to pop this down one side all the way along the edge like that. right up to the end because I need it to be very, very tight at the top. Then I'm going to snip it off, and then I'm going to put another bit, oops, across the top. So I've got a piece going down my left, and I'm going to put another bit going directly on the top like that. All right, and again I'm going to cut that off. Oh, I've gone slightly off my card there. Hang on, let me just trim that off. Otherwise I'll have a sticky bit hanging out. Yep, that's it. I wasn't sure if I got it or not then. Right, so we've done a bit on the left and a piece across the top. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to put another piece roughly an inch-ish down. Doesn't need to be too precise, but don't go any more than an inch. You could use your grid paper if you've got it out like I have, and go down about an inch. So I'm going to go around about there, and I'm going straight across. All right, and then I'm going to snip that. Not doing very well with the snipping today, am I? No, it's not very good either. That's better. That's better. Right, so what I've done then is one down the left, one across the top, one roughly an inch further down. Now I'm just going to smooth those down, make sure that's really firmly stuck because I need a really strong hold on this. The next thing I'm going to do with my scissors, actually no I'm not, I'm going to use my trimmer because then I know I'm going to have a nice dead straight line. If I can find where I put the trimmer. Oh, buried it under paper as usual. Right, with my trimmer, I want to make sure you can see it in the, yeah, you can see that, can't you? Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to line the edge of that tape up with the groove in my trimmer, and then I'm going to cut, but I'm going to stop before I reach that tape. All right, so I just need to stand up so I can make sure I'm going to stop, because if I don't stop I've blown it and I need to start all over again. So just along, oh, I can feel it, there we go, just along to that tape. All right, so I've actually cut almost to the edge. Dependent how wide your tape is, depends where you want to stop, but make sure you don't have tape that's too wide, otherwise this isn't going to work anyway. All right, so I've gone right the way across, and now what I'm going to do is peeling, oh here we go, look, I can't get the edges off. Right, I'm only going to peel a bit off because I need to make sure I line this up properly, because if I don't, it won't work. So actually, do you know what, I'll just peel that bit off, that'll do for a start, won't it? So I'm going to stick this down, and now my tape is on my right hand side. All right, now when I stick it down there's no tape at the bottom, that's fine, but I want this edge to come right up to my first score line on this side. All right, I want it nice and tight on that edge, so I'm going to line it up at the bottom. Actually, let's put a bit more of that. Oops, not that much more. I wanted to cover the sticky bit up a bit, but not quite as much as that. Right, let's do that again. Let's do that again. There we go. Oh, wow. I've done it again. Come off. Oh, there. That's it. That's better. Right. So that's going to go right to the very, very bottom and right over to the very, very edge. Let's make sure I'm right into that edge. So if I fold, whoops, if I fold my card over, I can feel where that edge is, and then I can get that corner nice and tight, and that will at least start me off, so I know I've started somewhere in the right place. Right, now I need to make sure I'm nice and straight, and I'm going to pull off most of that length, not all of it just yet, because if I pull all of it off, when I turn this over to get my other bits of sticky strip off, I'm not going to be able to get to them. So, whoops, come on, off you come. Now this time I'm going to pull both bits right off. I'm going a bit cat-handed here, because otherwise I can't get in there properly. Ah, hang on a second, my husband's just yelling at me. Hold on a minute. Right, sorry about that. Where was I? Right, okay, so let's put those, that can be stuck on now, and I can pull that bit out of there. Alright, and what I've done now is I've created a little hole where I'm going to be able to put my notepad, which as yet isn't covered, but is going to fit, whoops, nicely in there, you see, like that. So it will sit quite nicely on the actual, what's it called? Notepad cover. He's thrown me off now, he's come in and started shouting at me. I've forgotten what I'm saying. Oh dear. Right, now this side is going to be stuck down so that it will hold the other side of your notepad in place. Alright, but you've still got your flap in there. And the reason we've done it like this is to make sure this top bit here is strong, so that when you keep taking your notebook in and out of there, you don't end up wearing it out too fast. So obviously it will wear eventually because it's only made of cardstock, but it will just keep it lasting a nice long time. Okay, right, your next thing you're going to be doing, fold that flat back over because we need to make the marks for our pen to go in. So with your ruler, we're going to start off, probably, what pen am I going to use? I think I might as well use the one I used the other day, mightn't I? But a black one. Hang on. Let me just get one out of my cupboard. There we go. So, same thing as before. Line your pen up so you know roughly where it's going to be. Don't make your little holder too small, otherwise you'll be wearing it out too fast. But line your pen up roughly where you want it. And then you can make your marks bit easier. So I'm going to go one there, and I'm going to go for about 1.25 inches again, like I did last time, because that's a nice easy length. Snip with your scissors. Now you will go through the other layer of cardstock underneath, that's fine. When you fold it this way though, you'll find that you're only actually going to go through that first layer. Where did my knife go? There it is. Right, I would suggest you don't do it like this, but I'm doing it like this just for speed really. It's much better if you draw a line, a nice straight line, and then you can cut it nicely rather than the way I've done, which is, yes, completely wobbly. Right, use your knife and your cutting mat. Gives a much better finish. There we go. But now I've cut those two, I can get my glue, and I'm going to put, oh, that's the one that was empty, wasn't it? Let's use the other one. I'm going to put some glue along this edge here, and this one here. I am not going to glue under there though, because if I glue under there, I'm not going to get my notebook in. Alright, so leave your glue on the top layer. Smooth it all down so it's nicely stuck. Get your bone folder, stick it nice and firmly, and then you can fold it back. Make sure it's nicely stuck down. Alright, And there you can see we have now actually stuck these bits together. So this is where your notepad's going to go, and that is the nice pocket that you've made for it to go into. Which, where is it? There it is. Oops, there we go. Alright, so that will sit quite nicely in there. You can wiggle it to get it completely central if you want to, or you can just leave it like that, whatever really. It's going to look nice either way once it's finished off and decorated, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. But that's how we've done the pocket. And then this bit here is our pen holder. Whoops. If I just poke that out, fold your card over so that it's now sticking up at a funny angle. Get something you can poke in there. Actually, let's do it around that way so I don't end up hurting myself. I just want to sort of flatten it out a little bit, round it out a bit. There we go. Push it down. Now, if you just gently score that, burnish that rather, you can see that when you put your pen in, it gives it a kind of a rounded effect rather than being very square. You've got it a bit more rounded. All right, just makes it look a bit better. Right, this bit is going to be our pocket. So I wasn't too sure actually with this one. First of all, I thought, shall I fold it right round and have a couple of pockets? Shall I fold it that way and have it just as one pocket? But then I thought, well, the best thing to actually keep in this pocket really are your receipts, because you know where you're giving your receipt and you've got no way to keep them, so tuck them in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some more of this nice strong tape on, but I'm going to use one that's a bit wider, only because I want to make sure it stays firmly stuck, and it doesn't really need to be, the pocket doesn't need to be the full length, does it? So I'm just going to pop some tape on. Whoops. Come on. And same on the other ends. And then what I'm actually going to do, before I stick it down, I'm just going to round off those corners just to give it a nice finish. I think that'd look quite special. Let me just get my corner rounder. Oh my goodness, it crashed as well. Right, so before it's stuck down, I've put the tape on so that the tape's going to hold nicely, but then I'm just going to just snip off those corners. Now you can see I'm using it upside down rather than the right way up. That just helps you see what you're doing to make sure your corners are lined up in there properly. Get rid of that. And then, oops, I'm going to stick a strip on there, which I have cut somewhere, of the Calypso Coral. Oh, where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Ta-da! I'm going to stick that on there too, because I think that will just finish it off nicely. So I'm going to round those corners as well, like that. Now this one I can just pop some glue on because nothing's going under it. I really should move those scissors, shouldn't I? I'm going to end up stabbing myself in the hand in a minute. There we go, that's a bit more sensible. Oh goodness, sounds like a train was about to come through my house then, and we're miles away from the train tracks. Must be a big one going into London or something. Right, there we go. Let's pop that on there. And then I'm just going to take that off. Or should I take that off, or shall I put some more pretty paper on there? No, you know what? I think I might put something on there. What should we go for? Let me think. I know, back in a sec. Right, I've just grabbed a piece of Whisper White cardstock and some stamps. Now, the ones that I've got here are the Flower Shop stamps, and I've got some Daffodil Delight ink, and I'm just going to stamp some of these nice scribbly flowers. I'm just going to stamp them just along the edge there. You're not going to see all of the flower, but you will see the edge of it, so I think it will just give it a nice little finish there. Just move that out of the way. Now if I pop some glue onto the back of that so that it glues in nice and firmly, because I want to make sure this bit sticks quite well, otherwise I'll end up with a loose edge where I'm going to be catching fingers and things as I try and put my receipts in there. So let's put a nice dollop of ink on. Oops, come on. Oh, I'm trying not to get glue all over my hands. That's it. Right, now pop that in there. Now this piece that I've just cut, this Whisper White, measures 2 1/4 by 8. I'm lining it up so it's got a nice edge up and over, and then I can stick that down onto there, and I think it just gives it a little bit more oomph. And then I'm also going to finish it off with, let's just stick that down nicely. Hang on. Make it nice and firm. I'm just going to finish that little pocket. I'm just going to put along that edge bit there some, hang on, very organised, aren't I? Oh dear, never mind. Oh, I can't get out of the packet. There we go. What do you think? Shall I put that along there? Make it a nice bit of a jazzy edge? Yeah, why not? So let's cut, I'm just going to cut a strip off the edge of this, which will be, actually let's do it that side. It's going to be a very thin strip actually. It's 3/4 of an inch. That's all I need. Oh, decisions. Yeah, why not? Let's go for it. So 3/4 of an inch, and it will be 8 inches long. So if I just cut, whoops, probably can't see what I'm doing there, but let's get back in the camera. Let's just chop 4 inches off the end, because these, oh no, it's not going to be 8 inches because my Calypso Coral is 8, so it needs to be 7 3/4. So 4 1/4 off. There we go. Right, just cut a little strip, so I'm just going to pop that on there. All right, I'm just going to round those corners off again so that it all coordinates beautifully. Whoops. Let's just line that up. So there's one. Now it's much easier when you do this upside down, because if you've got a very narrow strip like I have here, it can be very difficult to actually get the corner lined up properly in the punch. See what I mean? You end up doing that. I should have left it, shouldn't I? Let me just trim that off with the scissors and hopefully it won't show. Right, pop a bit of glue on there. Oh, I keep going for the wrong glue. I'll fill my glue pots up next time. Or even better still, I'll get some more glue. I'm filling them up. I don't know what I'll fill them up with, I'm sure. Because that's what I always used to do until I discovered this fabulous Tombow which I use for everything now, as you probably realised. There we go. That's made that quite jazzy now, hasn't it? So that's going to be my receipt pocket in there. Now for my actual notepad itself, which is going there, that, where has it gone? There it is. That's going to be sitting on there. So I've already cut, as before, a strip 3 inches, which is the width of my notepad. I'm going to pop that on there, line it up, just make it very slightly too long. It's not even, no, it's about 1 millimetre too long, that piece of cardstock. But I just want to make sure I've got enough, so I'm folding it over. There we go. I'm just going to score it as well to make sure it folds nice and neatly. I've just got to try and see where those lines were. And like I said before, dependent on how thick your card is obviously going to depend on how wide you need to cut your card and the depth of your card as well. Right, let's put some more of this very narrow strip just across there, because that will make sure it covers that yucky bit on the top. Where's the scissors gone? Snip that off. Oops, no, almost. There we go. And I'm going to just cut some of that off as well, because I don't really need all of that. There we go. Right, more glue. Oh my goodness, right glue, wrong glue. Let's put some more glue on there. And then we can put the notepad back on. You see, this is what I want to cover up, all this yucky bit where I've cut the well, I didn't actually cut it at all, where I've ripped the old cover off. So just, oh dear, stuck my finger in it. Line it up nicely and just fold it over. You've got a nice neat notepad. There. Unfortunately, you're not going to see the back, but even if you did see the back, now it doesn't look anywhere near as bad. It's the front that we're going to be looking at. So it's the front that we want to look nice. Now, it's coming together, isn't it? Coming together. Right, in there, so as we open it up, obviously you want to see something pretty. So I've cut some more Calypso Coral, which I'm going to stick onto the front of my notepad. Now this is from the Subtles Designer Series paper stack, whereas the Daffodil Delight one comes in the Brights Designer Series paper stack. Alright, so this is from the Subtles one. Let's pop some, oh, I'll get it right in a minute, honestly. Let's pop some of that on there. Because this is going to be our front cover. Ooh, come here. Ooh. There we go. Right, pop that on there. Line it up nicely. Oops. There we go. That looks good, doesn't it? And then, just to finish that off, I'm going to stamp another couple of flowers in the Daffodil Delights and stick those on as well. Now, where did I put this ink? There's the ink. And there we go. There's some Whisper White cardstock. So let's just pop a couple of those on. Oh, you know what? I didn't line them up very well, did I? Hopefully I'm going to get my punch round there. You see, with these stamps, the punch fits the stamp perfectly, but the edges of the stamp are various different sizes and different shapes. So what I've done is I've made a mark on my stamp so that I know what way round to have my stamp when I'm doing my stamping. I'm trying to think who it was that said to do it like that. I think it might have been Mary Fish. Mary Fish is one of the American Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. She's got some fantastic designs on her website. Do you know, I'm just going to do another couple just in case I have got that round the wrong way. Yeah, she's got some really, really good designs and some great ideas. So if ever you're a bit stuck on what to do, and I haven't got anything obviously, go and have a look at Mary's site. Sorry, I'm just getting my other punch then. Go and have a look at Mary's site because you're bound to find something on there. Right, can you see how well that lines up now? Really is a great tip. There's one. And oopsie daisy. Another one. And I'm also going to do a third one in Melon Mambo. Ooh, you stuck my finger in it as well. Like I don't do that very often anyway, do I? No, not at all. Oh, I've got a dirty stamp. Let's just wipe some of that off. That's it. To do it on this side because I've run out of room on that side. Do you know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do 2 Melon Mambo ones. Should I do a third one? I don't know. Decisions. Will I fit a third one on there, do you think? I don't think I will. No, I don't think that's going to work, is it? It's not going to fit. Right, let's get rid of that. See if I get that ink everywhere. Oh, it will make a mess. Right, let's just punch out these. Whoops, come on, line up. That's it. There's one. And there we go. Out of all the stamps in that set, this squiggly one has got to be the hardest one to try and line up. But never mind. Right. Now I'm going to just arrange these a little bit, sort of haphazardly, really. Kind of like that. Yeah, why not? So if I just turn them all over, put some glue on. I suppose you could use glue dots really for putting these on, but it's just as easy just to put glue on it really, isn't it? And I think as well sometimes using glue works out a lot more cost effective than using glue dots all the time. Right, Oop. Okay, so let's pop that one there, and whoops, we'll have that one there, and then that one there, and that one can go there. There we go. That's good. And then that will slip, whoops, fold over, that's it, quite nicely into the pocket that we've made. Whoops, come out like that's it. That's going to go quite nicely into that pocket that we've made there. Oh, screwed it up nearly anyway. So if you wake up in the morning and it's a really dull dreary day and your head's thumping, don't look at this notepad, will you? Because it's coming rather bright and will end up hurting your eyes. There you go. Oh, I don't know. I think that looks rather yummy, actually. You could even put something this side. In fact, maybe I will. Not quite sure what I'm going to put there, though. So I'm just going to leave that one for the minute. But if this were your receipt, that can just tuck into there. And then you can fold round so it's all nicely covered up. Keeps your receipts safe as well, then stops you losing them. Right, let's get on with the front. Now I need to go and find my other bits that I've already cut, which I can't see on my desk. Oh, there's a surprise. Right, hang on. Right, now I've sorted myself out and straightened everything back up again, and I know where I am. I have, while I was whizzing around off camera, stamped happy on a piece of Whisper White card, stuck it on the inside. So this is how this is how our notebook now looks on the inside. And I've used, what did I use for those? I used the layered letters to do happy, and then those cute little hearts are from Hello Life. These two little hearts here, which I'm going to be using this set in another video, so I'll show you more about that when that one comes up. Let me just put those back on my shelf. Right, so now we have a nice bright happy inside our nice bright card. Now we need to do the outside. So what I've done is I've cut 2 more pieces of the Calypso Coral Designer Series paper, the polka dot one. And we have got, both of them are 8 inches. One of them measures 1.5 inches. Oops, sorry, no. Yes, it does, 1.5 inches. So that's for one side. And the other one measures 2.25 inches. All right, so, where's my magnets gone? Because we need to put our magnets on as well first before we stick our Designer Series paper on. Ah, there they are. 2 tiny magnets which fit perfectly on the glue dots. Now what I would suggest is put your magnets together so that you make sure that you've not got opposite poles, because otherwise they won't stick. Put them together, push them onto a glue dot, and then I'm using my pokey tool here because it makes it easier for me to handle. I'm going to pop that around, let's see, that's gonna, you see, I want to make sure it closes nice and square, because then it will keep plenty of room inside there for when I've got receipts and everything tucked in there. So I'm going to pop it quite close to that edge there, round about the middle. It's probably not exactly in the middle, but that's okay as long as it's round about the middle. All right, like that. Then let's stick this on. So put some glue on the back. It's quite a nice design on the back actually, isn't it, that script writing? I think that looks quite special. Oh, there we go, done it at last. Put my finger in it. Oh, never mind. Right, remember to take your second magnet off, otherwise you could find yourself in a bit of a muddle. Stick your paper over the top of the magnet so that you can't see it. Now these magnets are actually really strong, so they will go through the card quite easily. Right, so I've stuck that on there, and then actually, do you know what, I'm going to put that magnet there just for a minute. Cool, did you see that snap into place there? That was good, wasn't it? Right, I'm going to put another piece of Designer Series paper on this side. Again, this is the polka dot one in the Calypso Coral. Whoops, I glued my finger. Now, for those of you who like to match exactly, go ahead and do so. Me, I'm just going to stick it on there because I haven't got time today to mess around trying to match patterns up. I've got to go out in a minute and pick up some of my children. There we go. So stick that on. Now I've rounded these corners here, as you can probably see, and I just need to tidy that up a bit because the Designer Series paper has gone past my rounded edge. That's it. I probably should have stuck it on first and then put the corner round punch through it, but never mind, that's okay, it's worked. Right, next step, I have cut some shapes and stamp some shapes as well. Now I've used quite a few different punches here. I've used the 2.5 inch circle punch, the 2 3/8 of an inch scallop punch, the 2 inch circle punch, the, what's that called, pansy flower punch, and the little flowers from the itty bitty punches pack. Oh, that was a mouthful. Right, now this Whisper White that I've cut here, I've actually used the new thick one because I need quite a sturdy piece, because this is going to form the base of the closure. Now remember where your dot is, where your magnet is, stick your circle on and you glue on half of it. Now if you pop it into place, then put your magnet on, you'll be able to line it up easier then. See where you're going to make sure, yeah, I think that's fairly central anyway, isn't it? Right, let's just wipe that bit of glue off. Give that a nice stick down. There we go. And then I'm going to put my magnet back on like that. Did you see how well that went on there? Even though it's through the cardstock, it still goes on really easily. So that's going to go on there. On top of that, I'm going to put, oh, actually, before I do that, on top of that, I'm actually going to put a glue dot onto the other side of my magnet. Ooh, come off, come off, come off, come off, so that it doesn't fall out of place. There we go. That's it. Good, that went well. Right, I want some dimensionals, if I can get them out my drawer. There we go. I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this one today. Usually I just stick it on, but I think because it's cardstock, it might be better if I actually raise it up slightly. See, if you're sticking on the Whisper White card, just the normal one that we stamp on, because it's relatively thin, well, not thin, that's probably not the right word, it's thinner than our usual coloured card. You can mould it and bend it quite well, but this thicker one, it might work, but I don't really want to chance it just in case it loses shape or something and ends up looking messy. So I'm just going to use the dimensionals just to raise it up above the magnet. So this is the 2 3/8 of an inch scallop punch that I'm going to put on there. Whoops, let me just get that central. That's it. There we go. See, so it's stuck nicely and it's raised it up a bit as well, so it's gone over the top. I'm just making sure it's stuck down properly. It's gone over the top of the magnet. Right, now I'm going to put my, now what shall I do? Shall I raise that up as well? That could look quite nice popped out, couldn't it? Or should we just stick those on there? No, actually I think I'll just stick it on, because if it's going to be in a bag, you don't want to end up with it getting caught and pulled off, do you? So I think I'll just stick it down so it's a bit flatter. There we go. If I put that one flat, and then I was thinking of putting these little itty bitties in the middle. But do you know what? I think I might do what my friend Linda did the other day. My friend Linda Parker, she's at papercraftwithcrafty.co.uk, and she has convinced me to use these, which are the metal rimmed pearl embellishments. And I think if I put my fancy flower on there, my pansy punch flower on, I think it might look quite nice with one of those in the middle. Uh-oh. Look, oh, it's catching on the magnet. Let's try the big one. That might all kind of standing up. Oh well, at least you know they are actually metal rimmed, as where they say they are metal rimmed, they really are metal rimmed. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a big one because I think they look quite nifty. And so that I don't end up sticking it in the wrong place, I'm actually going to stick it in the centre of my flower before sticking my flower on. There we go. Is that the middle? Yeah, that's the middle, isn't it? Oh look, you see a little heart. That's where I went over the edge when I was stamping inside. Now I'm going to put this and make sure I've got plenty of glue on here, because I don't want everything moving out of place with that magnet. I mean, I'll leave it open while it dries, obviously, but I just want to make sure it's going to stay where I want it to stay. Right, because that is going to be... Oh, see, the glue's pulling it already. That's going to be in the centre there. Right, let me just open that so it doesn't pull it off track. That's it. And there we have it. A reusable covered notepad this time. So you've got the cover where you can keep, and then you just need to be changing your pads on the inside. And you can do this in so many different designs. You could really have some fun with it. But I like this one because it's got a nice pocket there for my receipts, and I can close it up and it looks very pretty. Where's my pen gone? I even found, look, I even found a nice pink pen to pop in the side there. So there you go. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. All the details will be on my blog at www.thecraftyspark.co.uk. I will put a link to everything in the comment section below, so you'll be able to find the blog post easily with all the measurements on there. But if there's anything you need in the meantime, or anything you want to ask, or even if you just fancy a chat, just drop me a line, and I'll see you soon.